And the title of my presentation is Management and Technology Integration. We'll first talk about the importance of one-on-one computing. The first one, it increases student engagement. Many educators say that attendance and student interest improves in classroom using one-on-one technology. Certainly, a present and engaged student is the best type of student to have. Complement based project based learning classroom. One-on-one technology is at its best in classrooms in which learning is driven by projects requiring research, collaboration, and production of a final product such as a slideshow, a video, or a web page. It broadens broadens learning beyond the classroom is the third. Time and distance no longer create barriers when students can access the world around them in an instant. High school students can see news unfold on their laptops. Elementary students can view locations around the world on a webcam and get real-time local data. Middle school students can email a nuclear physicist to clarify questions raised during science class. The fourth one takes advantage of a teachable moment. Many of the advantages of one-on-one classroom computing also can apply to computers in a lab or a small classroom computer. In a one-on-one computing classroom, a topic arises and a teacher and students immediately are online investigating, questioning, and extending the conversation with information and tools not available to them in other situations. And the last one prepares for tomorrow's workplace. When a student's only exposure to a computer is in the lab at the end of the hall, technology can be seen as a fragmented skill unrelated to daily life or a future career. One-on-one computing ensures that all students have the skills and confidence to integrate technology in their future as well as their present. Okay, now that we talked about what one-on-one computing is, our first one is laptop usage in a classroom. The first one, administrative commitment and vision. From district to site-based administrators, leaders can be committed to change and willing to provide both the financing and long-term dedication to the technology success. Parental support. Parents must be aware of the initiative and support. In some independent schools, parents themselves pay for the laptops, handhelds, or tablets. In public schools, parents may not pay for the technology, but they do need to be aware of the impact on their child. That impact includes their responsibility for the laptop, handheld, or tablet PC that comes home with a child, as well as the risk of inappropriate internet use. Staff development support. Teachers should have access to the handhelds or laptops months or even years before the students do. They also should be provided with technical and instructional support so they can build the skills and confidence needed to use technology in their classrooms. A strong backbone. What happens when your school's 50 or 60 computers grow to 300, 600 or more? As much as attention needs to be paid to technology that isn't seen as to technology that is seen. Safety and security. Laptops need to be secured when not in use. Students need to know how to surf and email safely. Tables need to be at the right heights for laptops. And what does the research say about it? Increased quality and quantity in writing. Some studies suggest that students not only write more, but write better when using laptops rather than pen and paper. Okay, our next topic, iPad use. You want to be clear when you're setting expectations for your classroom. It starts before you meet your students. Consider engaging your students in age-appropriate conversation about why guidelines are important and how you hope to create engaging learning opportunities with technology. Know the signs. It is unrealistic expectation that your students will pay attention to you 100% of the time. As we all once were students, we all doodled or passed notes in class. We don't have permission to become outraged when our students find their iPads entertaining, but we do have permission to recognize when students are wondering so you can redirect them. You want to be flexible. Students, like adults, use their devices for a variety of purposes. Some tasks require intense focus on one app. Other tasks they may need a variety of apps to accomplish. Try implementing a system of varied levels of flexibility. This allows you to pre-negotiate with your students and create a common language to describe your expectations. Change roles. One of the coolest things about the iPad is that your students may know more than you. Although this can be a little scary, try and open to more teachable moments when your students can take on a teacher role. The last one, redirect when needed. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, students are going to do what you ask them to do. Here are some ways you can firmly redirect undesirable behavior when needed. You could speak with the student after class. You can take away their iPad, or you can take away the iPad and give it to the student's advisor for retrieval. Mobile device usage in a classroom. I looked up information online about the traffic signal approach. In the red light, students must have their cell phones and other electronic devices completely put away. Any visibility of the devices will incur consequences as designated by classroom policy, such as having phones confiscated. This light is useful for test taking and other situations when you want student attention to be completely focused on the task at hand. The yellow light, students may have their cell phones out as long as they are being used for educational purposes. Any misuse or inappropriate behavior will result in consequences as outlined in classroom policy, such as loss of cell phone privilege or confiscation. This light is useful when students are doing independent research and other situations when cell phones may prove to be a good use. And the green light, students may use their cell phones out for any classroom activity. Any misuse or inappropriate behavior will result in consequences as outlined in classroom policies, such as loss of participation points or confiscation. This light is intended for situations in which the teacher is leading students in any activity that utilizes mobile devices and other situations where phones are necessary to participate. By setting these components ahead of time, either working the traffic signal approach, mobile devices in the classroom become more manageable. As with any other classroom policy, to ensure success, educators must clearly outline expectations and guidelines with the traffic signal and explain in detail what each signal means. Once these guidelines are put in place, however, these traffic signals can become an easy way to let students know what they're going to be doing with their mobile devices. And that concludes my presentation.